start off by talking about your job. Do you work or do you study?
I do work as a cabin crew, and this job is means a lot to me because from after I started uh, like turn 18 age, I thought about giving myself best in this field. So fortunately, I got this job as a cabin crew.
What do you like most about your job?
It's the thing is traveling, of course. Another thing is I meet different people from different culture, so I communicate with them, and that gives me knowledge about their cultures and from where they are, what special from their country. Yes.
Have you always wanted to do this job or did you want to do something else when you were a child?
When I was child, it was so many things in my mind. Like I don't want to do anything, just sit and spend time with my family. But when I started growing up after 18 age, I realized that no, I have to work, and so I given my most of the time to this field only.
Do you think you will continue to do this career in the future or will you switch careers?
No, no. This job is like for a certain age. After certain age, you will feel tiring and your body will affect of this. So of course, I will do some ground job after that.
Now let's talk about travel. In your country, what are the most popular tourist attractions?
Because I am from Mumbai, so I will suggest to visit Mumbai because Mumbai is the place of people call it city of dream. So you will see everything. There is sea view, and you will like the food. There are street food also. So you will definitely love Mumbai once come there.
Do you prefer to travel within your own country or internationally?
I would prefer to travel in my country because I still want to visit more state in my India, which I still not visited. So if I get time, I will visit first my each of the state of my country. Then I will go other part of India.
And do you prefer city breaks or go to the beach?
Go to the beach is the one thing I would love to do because I don't know. I feel very related to nature, and it gives me relaxing time. And yeah, lovely thing. And I get something personal, a story about me with the nature also.
If you could go anywhere, where would your dream holiday be?
Any other place like out of India? So it gonna be, I would say, Dubai. Dubai is like all country comes in one country. I would say there is a problem about the summer season only. Otherwise, winter season is good for to visit Dubai.
Now let's talk about electronic communication. What kind of emails or text messages or instant messages do you regularly get?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat
Yeah.
it?
So digital communication, so things like text messages on your phone or emails, or you could have instant message like Messenger and Instagram messages, things like that. What kind of messages do you receive?
I don't talk on social media much because I would like to give my time to my family members, my close ones, rather than making chit chat with people's like different people's.
Do you prefer to talk to your friends or family on the phone or by email or text?
I love speaking with my family on video call because it gives me personal experience talking on video call, and I never feel like I'm like if I'm somewhere else far from my family, so I make sure to have a video call with them every day. So it feels like you're with them only. Yes.
When you receive messages, do you reply to them straight away or do people have to wait for you to reply?
It depends on the person. If someone from my close family, of course, I will instantly reply them if I'm available. And if someone like outside of my family, it depends on the message, what it is exactly. So I will reply based on that.
Are you happy to receive emails from companies, marketing emails?
Not at all. It's the spam messages. I don't like it because it fills my email box and I have to delete all the emails because of that.
Now let's talk about languages. How many languages do you speak?
So I'm from India. In India, we have 29 different languages, but I'm blessed to have this popular language which is Hindi. I have learned Hindi. Then there is Marathi which speak in Mumbai particularly. Then there is Bengali which is my mother tongue, which is the language from the Kolkata part. So yes, I know these three language for now.
And how often do you speak English?
English, yes, it was subject in my school, so I know English well, and I speak with people who are like in the professional field. We use this English language.
Did you enjoy learning languages at school?
Yes, during school I used to enjoy because in school there are very different way of teaching. They really use the picturized things to make us memorize about the languages and all. So yes,
What do you think is the hardest language to learn?
it's nothing yet. I never tried any other different language than Turkish, which was also easy for me. I know basic Turkish. After that, I never learned any other language, so not know about much. Which one is hard? Since I'm working as a cabin crew, so we have this layover which is in Hanoi, and this layover was special for me. The reason behind because Hanoi people are very nice. They know about the hospitality, and in this hotel, I can't remember the name of the hotel because it's been a long time, but this hotel provide spa and massage facilities which are very nice and relaxing. And the good thing is the price is cheaper there. So if people go there to do spas, facial and all, it will be worth it. Also, I have tried a dish in Vietnam since I'm vegetarian. So I know I got very less option, but it was a vegetable fried rice, which gives different taste. I have tried many other fried rice in different country, but this was the favorite one I had. And also, if say about hotel staying, so the rooms are very nice. I must say they have very good interior in the room, very comfortable beds, and the view from my window was amazing. I was like looking like 10 minutes I sat on my window and looking the views outside, and it's really nice to have this vacation at Hanoi. Also about like working as a crew, my we must have one Vietnam language speaker on board, so he was help us to taking us on layover outside the hotel, what's the thing we should do, and everything he helped me in that.
That's the end of part two. Let's move on to part three. We've been discussing a hotel that you stayed in. We're going to continue to talk about hotels. What things are most important when someone is choosing a hotel?
The important thing is where this hotel is located, and this hotel should be at least basic amenities a person should need it. It's because it's very important you get rest well there. Yes, these two things.
Why are there some people who really don't like staying in hotels?
Because they are away from their loved ones, maybe. Also, there is one more reason, because it not gives that feeling that we get in home. Yes.
Do you think staying in an expensive hotel is a waste of money?
It's depend on a like location. Hotel, if it's very expensive, also no matter like you can have a bad experience there as well. It's you before going to any hotel, just check the review. So not never matter on the price.
Now let's talk about working in a hotel. Do you think that people need different skills to work in a luxury hotel versus a normal hotel?
Working in hotel requires skills because we have to deal so many customer there, and their requirements we need to fulfill, especially when it comes decision making. So we need skills to work in hotel.
What skills are needed to be a successful hotel manager?
The very important top is teamwork. When you handle a situation and if your team member is stuck somewhere, it's important to understand the situations and try to work together, help your colleague as well.
So I'm going to give you some feedback on part one, part two, and part three of the test. Then I'll give you some feedback on the different parts of the marking criteria: pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, fluency. So part one, I think, was your strongest part. You had no problem discussing those questions with me. I think this is your real strength, is a conversational English. You've no problem with these normal everyday questions, getting to know you questions. I've no real feedback on part one. I think the areas that you could improve on would be part 2 and part 3. So what we tend to do with our students is focus on the weaknesses to try and help you as much as possible. So the things I'm going to say, it might seem harsh or I'm being overly critical, but it's to help you as much as possible. So part 2, we were discussing describing a hotel. You ran out of things to say multiple times, and I had to ask you to continue to speak. If that was the real test, you might feel like you're messing up, and it depends on how friendly the examiner is. But you might be like, "Oh, I'm not doing well," and then that could affect the rest of your score. So we definitely need a strategy to help us cope with that and speak as much as possible until the examiner stops you on test day. So what you should do is when you see you have these bullet points, these are there to help you, but you can also add extra things. So describe a hotel that you know. Let's not look at any of the bullet points, but what kind of things would you describe in a hotel? So you had spa, you talked about the restaurant, you talked about the interiors of the room. What other things could we describe in a hotel?
The people, like the
Exactly. The
staff,
staff, yeah. Anything else?
comfortability of the hotel.
Yeah, how comfortable it was. Maybe the pool.
Who
There's many different things that we could do there. And then there's a few different strategies that we could deploy. We could give lots of examples. So you talked about the spa. You could describe the facial or the massage. Like what was it actually like? Was it a particular type of facial that you got, or a particular type of, or we could talk about feelings. How did the massage, or how did the food or the staff make you feel? Or you could have a story. So, for example, you talked about the local cabin crew who spoke Vietnamese. What did you do with him? Where did he take you? Those kind of stories could really help. So, by adding lots of different options, and remember, we only need to talk for 2 minutes. So, this is way more than we actually need.
Yes.
And we're giving you different options. So we could talk about examples, we could talk about feelings, we could talk about the story, we could talk also about the past, we could talk about the future. You know, do you want to go back to Hanoi? Do you want to visit a different part of Vietnam or something like that? What we're doing is we're giving ourselves lots and lots of different options so that we never run out of things to say. So whenever we get a part 2 question, we want to speak normally as much as possible. But when we run out of things to say, we can just look down. Oh, the staff, how did they make me feel? Oh, the staff were so kind and they really took care of me. I felt really looked after. I felt that they're very warm, they're very friendly. Or the restaurant and a story. So the local staff, he took us to the restaurant. I was vegetarian, so I couldn't eat the pho. I couldn't eat the lots of the chicken dishes. So he took me to a place that had vegetarian food and tell that story. So it's giving you so many different options,
Yes.
not just these 4 things. You're very good at speaking. Your fluency is good, but if you run out of things to say, the examiner has to conclude that you don't have enough English to speak about this topic, which they'll give you one of the lower scores. But that's not the case with you. Your English is actually quite good. So we're just giving you lots of tools in your toolkit to speak as much as possible. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Any questions about that strategy?
That's I would say I would have many options to speak on that topic. Now I realize it.
And you won't be able to do this immediately. So you're going to go away and work on this. I would recommend doing maybe 2 or 3 times a day for a while.
Yes.
Until this strategy becomes second nature. So you're doing it as a habit. So like when we're tying our shoelaces, we don't think about tying our shoelaces. We just do it so many times. Or riding a bike, we don't think about riding a bike. Or do you drive a car?
I do.
Okay, that's a bad example. But riding a bike, you don't think about what you're doing. Use this system until you can look at a question and think, okay, I'm going to talk about this, and just do it naturally. And when you're at home, record yourself on your phone and listen back. Part 3, there's 2 things that we could improve about part 3. The first one is answering the question. So I asked you to compare working in a luxury expensive hotel with working in a normal hotel. And you just said,
working in hotel required skills.
So the question was asking you to compare those 2 things. So always listen to the question and think, What do they want me to do? They always are giving you some kind of task in each question. So it could be compare two things, or it could be talk about the past. Like, for example, what career did you want to do when you were a child? Or they might want to test, can she talk about the future? What career would you like to do in the future? Or they might ask about, testing, can you give your opinion? What is your favorite this? What is a popular? So always think about, what are they wanting me to do in this question? And if you're not sure, always say, can you repeat the question? Or what do you mean by that? Instead of jumping in. Does that make sense? Any questions
Yes.
about that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you need to develop your answers a little bit more. In part 3 questions, remember these are discussion questions. So a way that you can do it is, it's fine to say what you think about it, but have a little think and think, okay, what are the different options here? What are the different ideas? There's often two sides to different questions. So for example, do you think staying in an expensive hotel is a waste of money? You might think it's a waste of money. Other people would think that it's a very good investment and it's worth the money. So you could be like, okay, why do some people think that it's good? Why do some people agree with me and think that it's not so good? And then, okay, some people think that a luxury hotel is a good investment in money. For example, there's a lot of business people. They need to be looked after. They don't have time to be thinking about pressing their clothes and what restaurant to go to and have any problems. They just need to be completely looked after. And for those people, it is a good investment, similar to business class travel. Whereas there are other people who are on a budget, and it would be a complete waste of money. Their priority is saving money. So a normal hotel would be a much better investment for them. So showing both sides of the argument. And for each of those, what you can do is say, this is the main point. Here's an explanation and here's an example. All right. So let's use the business class travel. Some people think that's a waste of money. Other people don't. Business people would think that that's not a waste of money because they need to rest, they need to sleep on the flight, they need to go to meetings immediately after. For example, airlines like Qatar Airways, Emirates Airways have lie flat beds because they want their customers to be able to sleep and then wake up and go into meetings. You see what I did there with like explain and then example, and that'll help you really develop your answers. And again, like the part 2 strategy, that strategy is something you have to practice.
Yes.
I can't give you another test today and you'll immediately get better. We have to wait a while for you to practice that. Okay, let's talk now about the marking criteria and things that you need to work on and things that are still quite good. So there's 4 marking criteria. Let's talk about your strengths. I think your 2 strengths would be fluency and vocabulary. You do have a wide-ranging vocabulary. You can talk about most topics. That's not a problem for you. Again, you're very fluent as well. Fluent doesn't mean speaking quickly. It just means you're able to speak without pausing and really searching for the correct words, the correct vocabulary. You have no problem there. You do need to develop your answers a little bit and make sure that you're answering the questions. But if we can get you to answer the question, develop them a little bit more, your fluency is fine. So I don't have huge worries about your fluency or your vocabulary. Pronunciation, you don't have a huge issue with that. I can understand every word. There are some mispronunciations sometimes. For example, sometimes you mix up your w and your v, your w's and your v's. So for example, window instead of window.
Oh my gosh, that's a really tricky thing. You picked it up.
It's not very noticeable, but I'm
Yes.
really listening out for it. I'm sure when you're working as cabin crew and you say like you need to
Open the window sheet.
open the window, you said it perfectly that time. But at times you do mispronounce some, not whole words, but signs within, like a w and v. That's very common with many people from certain parts of India. It's not a huge issue, and I also would not. I'm not saying that you need to change your accent or anything. We don't teach changing accents. You don't need a British accent or an American accent to get a higher score. We would encourage everyone to speak with their own accent as clearly as possible. And so I think you need a little bit of work on your pronunciation if you wanted one of the really higher scores. But I think it's more just making you aware that there are some problem sounds and helping you speak as clearly as possible in your own accent. But I don't think pronunciation is a huge issue for you either. The biggest issue is grammar. That is your number one problem.
Yes.
So, you are consistently making, we call it systematic errors. Not every time, but a lot of the time you're using certain systems, such as articles, for example, and you are making the same error again and again. There's a difference in IELTS and in general in language learning between serious grammar errors and minor grammar errors. Serious grammar errors stop me understanding you. So it's like, I don't, what did you say? The mistake is so big that I don't understand. The good news is you don't have any of them. You're not making serious grammar errors, but you do have lots of small minor errors. Minor errors are not too bad because it means I can still understand everything you say. So you're making little mistakes. There's no problem with communication. So in your job or where you live, if you're speaking in English, nobody is going to be like, what did she say? Like, everyone knows exactly what you're saying. But if you wanted one of the higher scores, we would need to, and I'm going to look at your transcript. I will look through the transcript and I will identify the problem areas. So we don't need to improve the whole of the grammar book. We don't need to give you a big thick grammar book and tell you to go and study for 2 years. We need to identify what are the one or two problem areas, and if we can fix those problem areas, we can improve things massively. So I can't do that immediately. I need to look at your transcript. I believe it's going to be articles and a few other things, but we'll have a look at that. And what I've done for you guys is I've analyzed hundreds of Band 9 transcripts from our successful VIP students, and I've put the 100 most used words into a PDF for you. If you want that, go to the description or the pinned comment. You can download it for free. Well done. Any questions?
Thank you so much for it. Your feedback really helped me, and you really picked up the things which I need to be improve, and I was not aware of it, but I will start practicing it from today.
Okay.
Yes, thank
Good.
you.
If you want another video on IELTS speaking, here's one more sample. And if you want help with more IELTS speaking tips, click here.